In this tutorial, we're going to be looking at how we can enter breakdown work orders. These are typically work orders that have already been completed, and we need a quick and easy way of loading them into the system. Now, we have an option in the system called a short form work order, and that's where we're going to go. That's under the New button and down near the bottom, Work Orders Short Format. This is designed so that everything is on one screen. And as soon as you open that screen, it will ask you what kind of job you're about to enter. Now in this case, we're entering a breakdown job, and that's right at the top of the list. Now if you don't have a breakdown work order type in the system, you should look for another tutorial called Creating and Activating Work Order Types. So I'm going to select my breakdown work order type, and then I'm going to just go across the top of the screen. What's the priority of this job? Well, in this case, it was an emergency job, so that's what I'm going to select. Now, your priorities may be different depending on how you've defined them. The status, I'm going to change to completed so that it goes immediately into history. I don't want it hanging around. This job is already done, so we can move it right into history. The equipment field, or asset, or cost center, whatever you set it up to read, will give us access to our hierarchy and allow us to select a piece of equipment that this job was done on. The description field should be a description of the problem, not what you did to fix the problem. So the problem in this case was a product jam. Our trade, we can select a trade from the list. The Assign To field is used if you need to put the person's name onto this work order that did the job. It's not required, but you can if you want to. Now the symptom, cause, and action codes use tables that are set up in the system, and you can set those up under the Setup menu, Work Order, and Symptom, Cause, or Action codes. So I encourage you to do that before you get into actually creating breakdown work orders so that you have the appropriate codes available. So when I select my symptom codes, and I can select more than one per job, I'm going to say it was a product jam and a production stoppage. Okay. Our cause code is what we found to be the actual problem. And in this case, it was an alignment issue. There was a track that was out of line that had to be reset. And what did we do? Well, we realigned this to the specification. Our date fields allow us to record when certain events take place on this job. Start date is when we actually started the work, and the start time is the time that we started the work. Now, if I want to enter time, just for a quick tip, you don't have to enter the colons and the AM or PM. If you use a 24-hour clock, and let's say we were starting this at 1 p.m., I'll put in 13.00. So that will make it quick and easy to enter the time. It will translate that into the appropriate time as soon as I leave the field. Now the reported and completed dates and times are important because that allows us to calculate downtime if this was truly a downtime incident. So let's say it was reported on, I'm going to use my drop down here, on May 5th at let's say 5:30 in the evening. And we didn't finish it until May 6th at, let's say, 2:30. So that would allow us to calculate our downtime between the 5th at 5:30 and the 6th at 2:30. And we have some reports that will then allow you to print charts and show you your top 10 trouble spots in the system or on the site based on the difference between those two fields. Now, most work orders, you will have more than enough information by putting your codes onto the work order, your symptom, cause, and action codes. But for work orders that you want to record additional detail on, you can put unlimited text into the symptom, cause, and action notes fields here, and everything you type in is searchable. So you can write a book, you can write an essay, you can record everything that was done, And that will hopefully make it easy for the next person who might be looking through history to find out what they may need to do on a future breakdown. And if you're recording time cards, you can put the time that was actually spent by each person that worked on this job into the system at the bottom section of the screen. So if I put in my employee number and just tab over here to the elapsed time field, our elapsed time is always entered in hours. So in this case, let's say we worked on this for an hour and a half. I'll put 1.5. You also have the option of putting a start time and an end time in, but most sites find that using elapsed time is quicker, and you don't necessarily need the detail of the exact times that the job was worked on. Now, once I put my time in, I hit the enter key, and that records that line. If there was more than one person working on that job, I could add additional lines for as many people that worked on that job. And when I click OK, this work order is going to go right off into history. So that's how we enter a breakdown work order. It's simple, it should be quick, and once you're comfortable with the screen, you should be able to get work orders into the system in anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute. So it's a very fast and easy way of recording those jobs that you've already completed.